Ever stop to think, are we born with something like a pre-installed operating system for life? Well, today we're diving into this really powerful idea we're calling the law of design. And it suggests that, yeah, every single one of us has an innate blueprint. So let's get right into it.
So, what do you think? I mean, really? Are we just blank slates, completely shaped by everything and everyone around us? Or do we actually come into this world with some kind of, factory setting for being human? This question, right here, is at the absolute heart of what we're going to unpack.
All right, so the perspective we're looking at today, it definitely argues for that built-in blueprint. It's even described as a foundation's etch. Think of it like an original design that's just part of our very constitution, kind of shaping how we're meant to function from day one.
And what's so fascinating about this is, look, this isn't about some mystical memory of a past life or anything like that. Nope. It's about an innate design that's part of us, right here, right now. And that's why, when you look at it this way, a divine message doesn't feel like some foreign external command. It's more like a receiver finally picking up the signal it was built for. It just clicks. It makes perfect sense. Okay, so let's really get into the specifics of this blueprint. I mean, what is this architecture really? We're going to break it down not as some vague, mystical feeling, but as a real, functional framework for how we're wired to think, feel, and act.
The key term for this is Fitrah, which, for our purposes, we're calling the law of design. And the best way to think about it? It's like the soul's built-in OS. It's what gives us our capacity for reason, our inner moral compass, and that deep-down search for purpose.
And this operating system, it's got three main parts. First up, there's a cognitive design. This part of us is literally built to see patterns, to recognize order, and ultimately to see that there's a single, unique source behind everything. Then you've got a moral compass, that gut feeling that just naturally pulls us toward fairness and justice. And finally, there's a purposeful structure. This is what drives us to find our place, to live in harmony with the world.
Okay, check out this analogy. It's a fantastic way to understand this. Think of our innate blueprint, our Fitrah, as the hardware. It's the machine, right? It's got all these amazing built-in capabilities. So, what's divine guidance? Well, that's the technical manual. It's not trying to change the hardware. It's just showing you how to use it for peak performance.
So what happens if you just toss the manual aside? You get something called structural deviation. When we just follow our own whims and ignore our core design, it's literally like running a complex machine the wrong way. And what do you get? Imbalance, confusion, and this great phrase, intellectual entropy. Basically, a total breakdown of clear, rational thinking.
But on the flip side, the exact opposite is also true. When we actively align with our design, when we use our hardware the way the manual suggests, the results are just incredible. We're talking clarity, justice, and this profound sense of tranquility and harmony. And get this isn't about forcing yourself to be something you're not. It's about finally becoming exactly who you were designed to be all along.
Okay, so that's the theory, right? It all sounds good, but how does this internal blueprint actually show up in the real world? Let's make this practical. We're going to look at a super concrete example to see how this design translates into actual, tangible action.
All right, so this verse from the Quran is a perfect illustration. It asks a really simple, down-to-earth question. It says, hey, would you make one of your employees an equal partner in your business? And for most of us, the answer is an instant no. Of course not. There's a clear, intuitive difference between the owner and the employee, right? Between the one who provides and the one who receives.
And here's the key insight. That gut feeling, that's not just random. That's your built-in faculty of reason kicking in. The whole point of the verse is to say, hey, take that same everyday logic you use for your business and apply it to the universe. When you do that, the distinction between the creator and creation becomes just as obvious. It's a direct appeal to our built-in rational design.
And just look at where this kind of thinking leads. It lays out a clear step-by-step process. First, you activate that faculty of reason that helps you recognize these universal laws of justice, and that leads you to give the needy their rightful share. And notice, it says rightful share, not just charity. And what's the end result of all this? A just, prosperous society. It all flows directly from activating our own innate design.
Okay, so this brings us to what's probably the most important part of this whole thing. How do we actually use this knowledge? How do we live in a state of active alignment with our own blueprint to get to that harmonious life we're all looking for?
Well, it really boils down to three key pillars. First, living rationally. That means really using your intellect, choosing truth over superstition. Second, living ethically. This is about letting that natural drive for justice actually show up in what you do. And third, living purposefully. This is about understanding that you have a specific, designed role to play and a way to contribute to the world.
And when you get these pillars in place, the result is, well, it's holistic. It's the whole package. You get this incredible internal peace, a deep tranquility called sakina. And what's amazing is that this inner peace naturally starts to shape the world around you, building an external world based on those same ideas of justice and balance. Your own well-being and the well-being of society become two sides of the very same coin.
So, I want to leave you with this final thought. What if harmony isn't some destination we have to search for out there? What if it's a design that's already built right into us, just waiting to be activated? The real question then isn't where to find it, but are we ready to finally switch it on?